The morning Marcus Reed walked into Sterling Trust Bank carrying a framed family photo, a half-empty coffee mug, and the weight of a broken life. Nobody in that marble lobby could have guessed that within 72 hours, he would bring the entire institution to its knees, not with anger, not with revenge, but simply by quietly walking away. He had worked at Sterling Trust Bank for 11 years. 11 years of early mornings and late nights. 11 years of perfect performance reviews and client loyalty scores that made the regional managers nervous with envy. 11 years of being the quiet backbone of an institution that had forgotten what a backbone was for. But none of that mattered to Victoria Hale, the newly appointed CEO who wore power like a white dress and wielded it like a weapon. She had arrived 6 months ago from a corporate consulting firm, all sharp edges and sharper ambitions, determined to cut costs, raise optics, and turn Sterling Trust into her personal monument. She had never once learned the names of the people who actually kept the bank running. That Tuesday morning, Marcus had been $5 short on his employee cafeteria tab. A simple, honest mistake. His youngest daughter had called him the night before, sick with fever, and in his panic and exhaustion, he had grabbed the wrong wallet from the counter, his daughter's little coin purse instead of his own. He had laughed about it with the cafeteria cashier, promised to pay it back before lunch, and thought nothing more of it. He was a man who had never stolen anything in his life, not even a glance at another man's answer sheet in school. $5 was not a crisis. It was a Tuesday morning. But Victoria Hale had seen it differently. Or rather, she had been looking for something to make an example of, and Marcus had been standing in the wrong place at the wrong moment. By 10 o'clock, he was called into her office. By 10:15, security was escorting him to his desk to collect his belongings. By 10:30, he was standing in the lobby he had served faithfully for over a decade, holding a framed photo of himself and his 2 daughters taken the summer before his wife passed away, a leather satchel full of desk trinkets, and a coffee mug his older daughter had painted for him in 2nd grade with the words, "Best Daddy in the World," in uneven red letters. If you believe in kindness and second chances, this story was made for you. Please like this video, drop a comment below, share it with someone who needs to hear it today, and subscribe to Kindness Corner, because stories like Marcus's deserve to be heard. He did not cry in the lobby. He had learned long ago how to hold pain quietly, the way you hold a sleeping child, gently, without disturbing the world around you. His wife Elena had taught him that. She had been sick for 2 years before she passed, and in those 2 years, Marcus had learned the difference between suffering loudly and surviving silently. He chose silence now, nodding politely at the young teller who caught his eye with a horrified, apologetic expression, and walked through the glass doors into the afternoon sun with the same quiet dignity he had carried into that building every single morning for 11 years. What Victoria Hale did not know, what she had never bothered to find out, was who Marcus Reed actually was. Not the employee. Not the file number. The man. She did not know that his wife's father, a reclusive Texas oilman named Gerald Whitmore, had passed away 8 months ago and left his entire estate to his only grandchildren, Marcus's daughters, held in trust under Marcus's name until they came of age. She did not know that the estate, after property sales and investment liquidations, had settled at just over $90 million, all of it sitting quietly in 3 accounts at Sterling Trust Bank. Accounts that Marcus had opened himself, years ago, because he believed in the institution. Because he trusted it. Because he had helped build it. He had never touched a dollar of it. That money was for his girls. Their college, their futures, the wedding dresses Elena would never get to see them wear. He had kept working his modest salary job because purpose kept him sane, because routine kept him breathing, because showing up every morning meant he was still the father his daughters needed him to be. The $90 million was sacred. It was Elena's last gift to their children, and Marcus had guarded it the way he guarded everything he loved, quietly and completely. But the morning after his firing, something shifted inside him. Not rage. Not bitterness. Something quieter and more devastating than either of those things. It was clarity. The sudden, bone-deep understanding that loyalty given to those who do not see you is not loyalty at all, it is surrender. And Marcus Reed had surrendered enough in his life. He had surrendered his sleep to night shifts and sick children. He had surrendered his grief to keep his daughters from drowning in theirs. He had surrendered 11 years of mornings to a building that had thrown him away over $5. He was done surrendering. He called his attorney that evening. By the next morning, the paperwork was drafted. By Thursday afternoon, Marcus walked back into Sterling Trust Bank, not through the employee entrance, but through the front doors, dressed in a calm gray suit, carrying nothing but a single document and the kind of stillness that only comes to people who have already lost everything that truly mattered and survived it. He approached teller 3, smiled gently at the young woman behind the counter, and requested to speak with the branch manager regarding a full account withdrawal and closure. All 3 accounts. $90,247,000. Every cent. The branch manager turned pale. The regional director was called. Then the VP of operations. Then, inevitably, Victoria Hale herself, who swept into the lobby in her white dress with the confidence of someone who had never once considered that consequences were real things that happened to people like her. She saw Marcus standing at the counter, and for a moment, something flickered across her face: recognition, confusion, and then a dawning, terrible understanding. She extended her hand and began to speak in the smooth, practiced tone she used for damage control, the voice designed to make people feel heard while actually hearing nothing. Marcus did not raise his voice. He did not humiliate her. He simply handed her a copy of the withdrawal authorization, looked her calmly in the eyes, and told her, in the quietest voice in the room, that he hoped the $5 had been worth it. Then he turned and walked back through the glass doors, and the sunlight caught him in a way that made the young teller behind teller 3 later tell her mother it looked almost like something from a movie. The $90 million moved to a regional credit union by end of business that Friday. Sterling Trust's quarterly numbers, already fragile under Victoria Hale's cost-cutting experiments, did not survive the loss of their largest private account. The board convened within 2 weeks. Victoria Hale cleared out her office on a Tuesday morning, carrying a box of belongings through a lobby that had already begun to forget her name. Marcus used a portion of the estate to establish the Elena Reed Scholarship Fund, providing full college tuition to children of single parents in their county. The first recipient was the daughter of a bank teller who had given him a small, apologetic nod on the worst morning of his year. He never forgot kindness. It was the one thing, he always said, that cost absolutely nothing and meant absolutely everything. If this story moves something in your heart, please give it a like, leave a comment telling us what touched you most, and share it with someone who needs to be reminded that quiet dignity is the most powerful thing in the world. Your support helps Kindness Corner keep telling stories that matter. Before you go, drop a comment below with just the word dignity if you believe that how you treat people when no one is watching is who you truly are. Marcus never asked the world to see him. He only asked it to be fair. And when it wasn't, he simply, quietly, walked away. Sometimes, that is the most powerful thing a person can do.